You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Welcome to Tales of the Resistance, where we bring you stories of defiance and rebellion, little glimmers of hope in overwhelming times. I'm Amber Hunt. Let's get to it. Last Saturday's No King's Day was even bigger than expected, with millions of people hitting the streets across more than 2,000 cities. The message everywhere was loud and clear. America doesn't want kings. The signs even said so, albeit often in more colorful ways than that.
No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA!
These peaceful yet powerful protests countered Trump's 250th Army Parade spectacle, which was, by all accounts outside of Fox News or the White House, sparsely attended in comparison with the protests. Crowd counts are always tough to get right, but the most favorable, on-the-ground, credible reporting estimated tens of thousands attended, maybe even as many as 150,000, which isn't nothing. But it's also far short of the 200,000 expected and the 250,000 the White House claimed afterward. Credible reporting has the nationwide protest attendance at about 5 to 12 million. This was possibly the largest single-day protest in American history. A brief rundown. In New York, tens of thousands marched from Bryant Park to Madison Square Park. Los Angeles saw a powerful, if tense, turnout of about 80,000 people. Patreon supporters sent us dozens of pictures and videos from events around the country. We got footage and photos from Madison, Wisconsin, Cincinnati, Ohio, Hilliard, Ohio, Northern Virginia, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Geneva, Illinois, Galesburg, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, downtown Houston, Texas, Huntsville, Alabama, Burlington, Vermont, and several spots in California, Los Angeles, Santa Clarita, Lake Forest, Laguna Hills, Pasadena, and more. I am sure I'm leaving some locations out. Thank you all so much for sending these to me. Here's some sound from around the country. Now, these protests happen in the aftermath of terrible political violence in Minnesota, where a man posing as a police officer gunned down 4 people, 2 Democratic politicians and their spouses, killing Melissa Hortman and her husband. Melissa was Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives. There's not much hopeful to find in a situation like this, but we'll at least note that spontaneous vigils and community watch networks quickly formed in the wake of the shootings. Protesters didn't stay silent either. People rallied in St. Paul, carrying American flags, denouncing violence, and affirming democracy through peaceful assembly. That defiance, showing up even when scared, is its own form of hope. Here's what rally-goer Keith Knepper told WCCO.
It's great to see all these people here and realize that we're not the small number that it feels like sometimes. So I feel emotional about that. It's a very positive thing, but what a horrible day.
In Minnesota, at least, the violence was denounced by Republicans and Democrats alike. The man reportedly responsible was taken into custody on Monday. Los Angeles continues to serve as the epicenter of what some are calling a grassroots rebellion. For weeks now, the ICE raids targeting undocumented workers have ignited mass demonstrations. At the start of this week, more than 500 arrests had been reported, while National Guard troops and Marines were deployed under controversial Insurrection Act powers, sparking legal and political uproar. California Governor Gavin Newsom's lawsuit against the federal government continues to play out, with critics calling the troop deployment a military overreach that might well be illegal under the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. That law prohibits the use of U.S. military to enforce domestic laws unless expressly authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress. Newsom and others insist that the Marines indeed are participating in civilian detentions. While that ultimately will be a question for the courts, what's certain is that the Fed's involvement in LA has not quieted things down one bit. Here's sound of the LAPD dispersing crowds with tear gas and protesters' response to it.
Peaceful protest! Peaceful protest!
Don't shoot! This is a peaceful protest!
While LA faced down troops, Boston offered support by way of a citywide rally. On June 9th, more than 200 union members, community leaders, and residents descended on City Hill Plaza to denounce ICE raids in California. The rally featured chants, "Down, down with deportation," labor solidarity, and public demand for restraining federal overreach.
Come for one! Come for all! Free David! Free them all! Come for one! Come for all! Free David! Free them all!
Speakers included Service Employees International union leaders demanding justice for David Huerta, a union president arrested in LA while documenting raids. Massachusetts AFL-CIO head Chrissy Lynch framed protest as both patriotic and constitutional.
David Huerta was peacefully exercising his constitutional rights, lawfully observing immigration activity in his community when ICE violently arrested him. He was doing what unions always do, what it is our job to do, and what this country was founded on, speaking out against injustice.
Rallygoer Linda Jones of Swampscott agreed, telling WGBH, quote, "They're trying to flip the script on what patriotism is, and patriotism is free speech and being able to feel safe to speak your opinion. Peaceful protest is patriotic," end quote. Boston's Mayor Michelle Wu also condemned the National Guard's deployment in LA and joined calls for federal restraint. But the rally didn't stay confined to speeches. Protesters marched through downtown, blocked Beacon Street, and rallied on the steps of the State House, a pointed show of defiance in a city known for kicking off revolutions. Other cities also had anti-ICE protests, which were, to be clear, separate from the No Kings rallies. Sites included Atlanta, Georgia, Tampa, Florida, Lexington, Kentucky, Detroit, Michigan, Baltimore, Maryland, and Denver, Colorado. Even Texas got in on it with protests in Dallas and Austin, prompting Governor Greg Abbott to, as he said in a social media post, deploy the state's National Guard to ensure peace and order. Public reaction to the June 12th detainment of California Senator Alex Padilla by Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem's team has been swift, prompting even some Republicans to condemn the treatment of the Democrat as, quote, wildly inappropriate, end quote. Padilla is a ranking member of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Immigration. You might remember that he entered a Department of Homeland Security press conference in Los Angeles.
Hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
How many of our ICE agents have been docked?
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I'd put behind my back.
All right. Cool. Other hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Other hand, sir. Other hand.
After this introduction and handcuffing, he was physically removed from the briefing, despite the fact he'd been escorted by both an FBI agent and a National Guard member. By the way, I think it's worth sharing this quiet exchange between authorities and the man who caught the arrest on video.
There's no recording loud out here.
I did not know.
There's no recording allowed out here per FBI, right?
So what, I'm sorry?
There's no recording allowed out here.
That's my boss. I have to
There's no
record
recording
everything
allowed
for
out
us.
here. You can record. There's no recording allowed out here.
I'm not a member
There's
of the
no
press.
recording allowed.
Keep recording, people. Anyway, reactions have been intense. Democrats like Senators Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Adam Schiff demanded accountability and declared the move dictatorial. The DHS has stated that agents mistook him for an attacker because he wasn't wearing a visible Senate pin and claimed he lunged forward without identifying himself. One more time for the people in the back.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary.
So, yeah. This has been Tales of the Resistance, a production of Grab Bag Collab. The show is reported and edited by Amanda Rossman and me. Amanda produces the show. I'll be off next week, so Daisy Egan plans to step in, and Amanda after that. Support Grab Bag Collab at patreon.com/GrabBagCollab.